Guys, on today's topic, we have some pretty interesting industry news. Something that I think is kind of a beacon of hope, maybe against the EPA, and maybe something that's kind of really kind of a voice for all of us in the future. So a company in our industry, Holley Group, has merged with Empower, and they are going public. So they're about to go public as a company, something new for our industry. I'll talk about the pros and cons and what it means for all of us. Okay guys, so as I was alluding to in the beginning of the intro there, we've had some pretty big industry news, right? Holley is a major player, major manufacturer, makes a lot of products, and I'll name them all in a second.
Wait a minute!
Has basically merged with Empower, and that's basically allowed them to become a publicly traded company. So I'm going to give you all the details. I'm not here to give you financial advice. You can make your own decision, but I'll tell you guys what's so good about it and why I think it's so important. And I'm coming here from a different kind of background. I'm coming here from a background of, hey, I've been doing this for 17 years. I've been in the industry. You know, Mod Bargains is where we sell our parts. And there you go, Mod Bargains.
Nice.
I am talking off the cuff, but I do think there's a lot of pros, and there are some cons, I'm sure, for all of us as well. But I'm going to talk about both. I look forward to you guys' comments and what you guys think about all of it. So Holley, major company. I've kind of talked about them in the past and in different videos where I talked about companies being merged, kind of an oligopoly is happening. Well, Holley, you know, a couple of years ago, they merged a bunch of different companies together, and Dynon being one of them. It was Dynon, APR. I've got a list down there, so I'm going to just look down real quick. We've got Holley EFIs, we got APR, we got Diablo Sports, Superchip, MSD, Excel, Hooker, Flowmaster, Simpson, Stillo. So bunch of different brands. If you know what those are, they're all under one umbrella, and now they've merged with Empower, and that's going to basically take them to be a publicly traded company. What does that mean, right? And what does it mean in finances and so forth? Well, let's go into what it means. We basically now have a company that is going to be publicly traded. That means other people can invest into it. Share prices are going to be $10. Currently, Empower is EMPW. If you're interested in the new ticker, it's going to become HLLY is the new ticker. And they're expected to be at $10 a share. I talked about this during a recent conversation I had with them. They're putting in their own testing facility inside so that they can combat, getting their own products done with the EPA. That's a major one. Now having a publicly traded company, that kind of makes a legitimacy to our industry. There's so many fly-by-night companies, and if you've been around this industry for a while, you've seen the come and goes of a lot of companies. You know, they stick around for about 2 to 5 years, and then they're gone. So now we have a company that's going to get backed up. We can all invest in it if we want to. Since it's publicly traded. And, maybe that's going to be a voice for us when we're talking against the EPA, the issues that we have there. It's a voice for just making things better for our industry. So one of the things that from this industry from the beginning, right, I can go into it from the beginning stance, there was never a very organized type of industry, meaning part numbers. In terms of the way, vehicle make, model, configurations, if you've ever gone through this process, you know how hard it is to find the right parts for yourself. Well, now you have a company that's really investing in everything, where you have install guides, you have, warranties, you have the proper things that you want to have in a company. And I think that's what's happening there with Holley, and it's a great thing for all of us. But I really like the fact that now it's a publicly traded company. We get into the public eye, and now we can get the government, if we have more of these happening, we have a better chance at, against whatever regulations come out, because now we have more people involved in it. It's not just, hey, privately owned citizens, privately owned companies. So I wanted to give you guys that information. I'll give you guys real brief down on the financial investment. I'll give you guys the links down below. You guys can read all about it. There's a nice PowerPoint that they made. and I'll give you guys the press release link as well so you guys can read it. Basically, last year they made 583 million in sales, total sales. Profits, operating profit was 145 million. So profitable company. Total valuation of the company was 1.6 billion. Basically a 10x EBITDA is close to a 10x EBITDA. I'm kind of rounding off. EBITDA is, well, we'll put it right there for you guys so you can see the translation. So solid company, 24 million shares will be issued out, and yeah, seems pretty good to me. I'll probably be investing just because I want to support and have ownership in the industry, since I already sell the products, and why not have some ownership into it. So I talked about some of the good. What are some of the negatives? Pricing can probably go up. The more they become oligopolies, you know, for us as consumers, the prices start to go up. Also for us as, you know, the vendors of it, the margin also decreases, as typically what ends up happening. And there's sometimes lack of innovation. So sometimes you do have additional information that comes in, you know, from all the different items in there, but when you're not as hungry as an entrepreneur, sometimes there's a lack of innovation. And so I think there's some negatives there, but there's some positives. I'm going to try to look at the positive of this. I think being a publicly traded company really is a benefit to all of us. Again, I want to bring you guys the news on what's happening in our industry. I'll give you guys that's my feedback on it. Obviously, I want to hear what your guys' are on the comments. I'll give you guys my responses down in the comments as well. That's pretty much it. I don't want to go too far into it because I'm not trying to give you guys financial advice on what to do or whatever. But again, guys, please help us out. If you haven't subscribed, it really does help us out. I and everybody appreciates it. And if you can hit the thumb up, that also helps. Thanks again, guys. I will see you on the next Talking Mods.